We are back.
Hello from the distant past. If you're listening to this the day it comes out,
Yes.
we are pre-recording.
Yes. If you're listening to this the day it comes out, I am in Italy.
I'm not, but
as of when we're recording
okay.
this, I am packing for Italy, and there's so much shit on the floor that you cannot see out of frame right now.
I do see the folded blankets and stuff in the background, which is slightly more chaotic than usual. Perhaps.
Those are always there.
But...
I think they just fell over.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I've got an extra dog with me today who is truly an agent of chaos. Shout out to Mr. Newt, who belongs to our friend Sydney. And he is the most lovable, floppy, dumb lab ever. So
we love Newt.
But he's agent of chaos. Immediately when he got here, he ran in, found Hattie's bowl, because Hattie, my lab mix, is a snacker, gobbled it up within 20 seconds, and then I let him outside, and then he jumped in the pool. So that was all in the span of about 15 minutes of Newt's arrival. But we're doing great. We love Mr. Newt. We have a week of Newt. So agent of chaos.
Yeah.
We keep telling Hattie, your weird friend is here, and she kind of keeps looking at me like, he's back in the house? You let him back in here?
Great.
She does love Newt. But he is crazy. We love him. But
crazy.
We did we kicked off summer vacation reading. Ooh, upside down. Right side up. Also, there was a guitar pick sitting on it that just flung off. But we read The Shippers. I keep calling it Shipped, which is Angie Hockman.
Yeah,
one
different
we read
book.
like 3 years ago. No, this is The Shippers by Katherine Center. A not new to many people author, new to me author. I had never read a Katherine Center.
I read my first Katherine Center, gosh, maybe earlier this year or late last year. I read the rom-commers and I quite enjoyed it. So we were like, let's take the leap. And I don't think we chose the right one to leap with, unfortunately.
Oh, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We will still gladly discuss. It was no Angelica Frankenstein. So not the worst book we've read on this podcast by any means. So, yeah, a tight 300 pages for this one. Katherine Center is a Houston author, so there were some good and accurate Texas Easter eggs in here, which was nice.
Yeah.
She is often in Austin. She does events here, fairly often.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think she was here, this week or something, or last week. Yeah.
Right, yeah, she went to, Book People.
Yeah.
Let's see. How many books has she written? In the front of The Shippers, which is a Book of the Month edition. We've got The Love Haters, The Rom-Commers, Hello Stranger, The Bodyguard, What You Wish For, Things You Save in a Fire, How to Walk Away, Happiness for Beginners, The Lost Husband, Get Lucky, Everyone is Beautiful, and The Bright Side of Disaster. So very prolific.
Yeah, many books. And also,
many books.
Not all of her books are romances. It's a lot of kind of women's fiction, family drama. And then some of them are kind of rom-com-y. So I guess I shouldn't have been surprised when this book took a strange turn toward the end, but boy, was I.
Boy, was it a strange turn. I read the blurb for this one a while ago, but should we read it again? Just for a refresher?
Sure.
Sure, why not? This is the most prepared I ever am.
Nice.
So, all right. The little tagline, she wants him to help her woo someone else. Genius, foolproof, can't go wrong. And then, after a lifetime of being bad at love, Jojo Burton... Oh, yeah, I remember this because I almost said Jojo Siwa when I read it last time for our summer reading episode. Jojo Burton vows to solve her intimacy issues once and for all at her sister's destination wedding on a cruise ship. Armed with pop psychology, she diagnoses herself with a fixation on the neighborhood guy who was her first crush and first kiss, who just happens to be newly divorced wedding guest. Determined to woo him for closure, she ropes in her childhood bestie, Cooper Watts, as her wingman. Cooper, who RSVP'd no, but showed up anyway. Cooper, who moved to London without a word 4 years ago. Cooper, who broke her heart. My dog's name is Cooper, and saying it this many times in a row is like the only time it actually kind of registered weirdly to me. But during the book,
I wasn't thinking about it until I was typing out my notes.
Cooper.
Yeah.
Cooper. Cooper, who is a real man, not a puggle.
Yes.
In this book. All right. Shipboard antics abound in this witty, hard-tugging childhood friends to lovers romance as JoJo and Cooper team up, fake flirt, slow dance, share a cabin, sing duets, get jealous, answer long-held questions, and finally, at last, discover truths about each other that will change everything. So, all right.
That blurb, reading it now after having read the book, really sold us on more shenanigans than there ended up being.
Yeah, so the book starts off with a wild shenanigan of we're at JoJo's wedding to a terrible man named Pierce with an A, and I think they live in Houston, presumably.
It seems that way.
Like Katherine Center. Yeah, they seemed like real River Oaks types.
Mm-hmm.
Where she had been engaged to this man for 4 years, based on kind of on an ultimatum. They were finally getting married. And then as she's like about to walk down the aisle, Cooper shows up and is like, hey, you could pretend to faint to get out of this. And she was like, that's ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. And Cooper, who had RSVP'd no and said he was boycotting the wedding, kind of throws her for a loop. And lo and behold, she gets to the end of the aisle and pretends to faint. And stays pretend unconscious for like kind of a long time, to where I was like, if they really thought that she had fainted, they should have taken her to the hospital.
Yeah, this is like a call 911 scenario.
Yeah, like somebody like picked her up and carried her to another room without her waking up.
Yeah.
And again, like it's all fake, but like had anyone believed it, ER.
Yeah.
ER time. If you're out that long, there's a problem. Call
Indeed.
the ambulance.
Indeed.
Hospital. But that's not what happened here. So she fake faints. Her dad also missed this wedding, which is a plot point that comes up a little bit more later on. And I would like to say, I had assumed at the beginning that her parents were divorced.
Me too.
Not still together.
Same.
And to where it was like, what do you mean he's not there? I thought it was like a classic, like, deadbeat dad, divorced dad situation. Nope. Still married.
Yeah,
So.
JoJo's dad is made out in the beginning to be a bad guy, and then we find out later on that he's just maybe the world's dumbest guy.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then we like jump forward in time and JoJo's sister is getting married on a cruise. Which is where the bulk of the book happens. JoJo and her sister, what's her name? Ashley, right? Ashley. They formulate the world's stupidest plan.
Yeah.
This was set up to be like a fully shenanigan heavy, like, oh, she's gonna like flirt with some other guy and then fall for her friend kind of vibe. And that is what happens, except the whole basis of this is based on some dumb internet theory that JoJo's sister saw about how people with abandonment issues imprint on their first kiss. And I'm like, if this were true, a lot of us would be really fucked.
Yeah. Also, the term imprinting has been ruined by Twilight.
Yeah.
In this one, there are actual, like, it's 2 kids. So,
Right.
I don't know. How old were you when you had your first kiss?
14? 13?
Okay, I was also 14.
I think I was 14.
Yeah. And the first kiss in this book
because it was the spring of 8th grade. So I would have been 14.
Sure. I was in 9th grade, like beginning of 9th grade.
Yeah. So yeah, 14.
Yeah. So the first kiss in this book is when they're like 10-year-old kids like doing dares or whatever, and JoJo is blindfolded, and Finn, the guy she has a crush on and had a crush on for like a long time after this, uh kisses her while blindfolded. Also after like making her wait a long time. Uh so but who would have guessed it wasn't actually him,
Yeah, you
which we
can see it
learn
coming
later, but
from a mile
yeah.
away that it's actually
She
Cooper.
was blindfolded, so who
It's
would have
giving
thought?
13 going on 30.
Yes. It really is. But so yeah, so they've cooked up this plan. Ashley, her sister, her mom is kind of involved, but I think her mom was kind of like, this is dumb, you guys.
Yeah.
No. And then Grandma Dodie, who is a great little side character who shows up just to be fun and spunky.
Yeah.
A few times in the book, is like, yeah, go for it. So the whole plan is that, yes, this is a cruise ship wedding that JoJo is going to look super hot on, and Finn is going to fall in love with her.
Yeah, because Finn is also newly divorced, and yeah, the whole idea is that like, oh, it's going to be meant to be because this is your childhood crush and you're both single and whatever. And the whole kind of like background of this is that like a lot of these people, they all grew up like on the same street, so it's like we're supposed to believe it's this like kind of big friend group from childhood, basically, even though we don't really meet all that many of them. They're just sort of around.
They're kind of just there.
Yeah.
So this cruise, which sets sail out of Galveston,
Obviously.
it's 8 days. Please no one I know get married on a cruise. I'm gonna say that right now.
Yeah. Unless you're paying for it, in which case I'll think about it.
Sure. I'll do a lot of stuff for free.
Yeah.
Do I want to pay to go on a cruise wedding?
No.
No, I don't. Anyway, so they get on the cruise and Cooper does come to the wedding. And Cooper has gotten like, now that I'm saying it out loud, when I was reading it, it was not a big deal, but like saying it out loud, I'm like, that's my dog.
Yeah.
Cooper
got
human.
hot.
Cooper got hot. Cooper got hot over the years, which was noted at JoJo's wedding, or wedding that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But now she's like, oh yeah, he's real hot now. Uh-oh. But she ropes Cooper like into the plan of getting her together with Finn. And Finn he's just a man.
Yeah.
He works like in accounting, and he's like kind of still hot, but like not really. But again, she's really like fixated on this whole, I imprinted on this guy as a 10-year-old. So
yeah,
I think is my destiny.
I think the best thing that can be said about Finn is that he seems like he's a good time.
Sure.
Perhaps fun to have at a wedding, maybe.
Actually, no, he wears a glove to mini golf.
Oh yeah, there is that.
Yeah, so he takes things real seriously.
Yeah, but he seems just sort of like a harmless bro, basically. Like the worst thing we can say about him is that he didn't remember JoJo from childhood, which is kind of crazy if they all grew up on the same street, but I don't know.
And if she like obsessively stalked him for like 6 years, as they imply.
Right.
So or he's just being a dick and pretending, but
I
kind of a lot of,
I think he's just kind of a harmless douchey.
Yeah.
But like fine guy, kind of probably one of those people that like if you met him as an adult, you don't really want to be friends with him. But if he's your childhood friend, you're like, he's that's just Finn,
That's just Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So part of the shenanigans involve her basically wearing like a slutty cocktail dress to mini golf. Ashley has basically taken it upon herself to make all these activities that are meant to force all the single people together, which is like probably so clear to everyone at the wedding.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if I was single and roped into this, I would very much be like, please just let me go to the pool.
Right.
I don't want to play mini golf or slow dance with somebody I don't know.
Yeah, if I'm gonna try to hook up on this trip, I'm gonna do it of my own volition. Because they're also like what the book said that there were like 1,500 people on the cruise and like 80 of them are there for the wedding. So like I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna go try to find some hot stranger. I'm not gonna hook up within the wedding friend group.
Which is what their cousin Harmony does.
Yes.
So
Which
Harmony,
this was like an example of like a shenanigan that has shenanigans too close to the sun. Like it was a little heavy-handed for me. Like it was funny, it was silly, but it was a little heavy-handed for me.
Harmony's sexcapades.
Yeah.
It was veering on that for me. There were more that were too shenanigan-y.
Yeah.
One being, well, the most shenanigan-y, where I was like, okay, no real human would do this. So Harmony is their like unpleasant cousin and is supposed to be rooming with JoJo, but is basically sexiled her from her own cabin so she can just hook up with dudes on this boat. And she comes to breakfast like one of the mornings, like covered in hickeys, and everyone is like, well, what are you doing? What's going on? And she tells this like long story about how she showed up with a hickey at work and suddenly she was cool. And then JoJo is like, that's what I need to do. Get a hickey. Sure, girl. Yeah, that's what we take away from this story
Yeah.
from your unpleasant cousin is that a hickey is going to solve all your problems. So she makes Cooper give her a hickey, which you could perhaps count as the first kiss in the book, which does happen almost exactly 50%. It's at page like 145, and this book is 306.
Yeah.
So pretty close.
Pretty
the
close.
math still checks out. And yeah, it kind of works for her in a very strange way.
Yeah.
Of sorts. But that was the shenanigan that was far too close to the sun for me, where I was like, girlfriend, no.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
You're a mathematician. What are you talking about?
Okay, so that's my main thing with the book. And like, okay, like we can go through more of the plot. There's really not a whole, like once they're on the ship, they're sort of just on the ship. Like they're being like JoJo is trying to get Finn's attention through all of these like various events, and Cooper is being somewhat supportive and somewhat cranky, essentially. And yeah, they're just sort of there. They're just sort of on the boat.
Yeah. So,
but my thing is that this is my main problem with this book. I sort of hate JoJo. I sort of hate her.
Oh, elaborate.
I just think she is way too smart of a person to be such a fucking dumbass.
Yes. Lots of the choices she makes, I'm like, are you an idiot?
Yeah.
Girl. Oh, like lots, and you know, we've all done stupid things trying to like woo somebody or whatever, I'm sure. But girlfriend has no common sense.
Yeah.
Either. Just in her general day-to-day existence.
Yeah.
Like even at the very beginning when she talked about how she had like wrangled this guy into being engaged for 4 years, and this did make me laugh though. When she's like breaking up with him, Pierce, the guy, like immediately gets on it, is just like texting on his phone or whatever, and he goes, "Mom, it's fine. She can't even play tennis." And I was just like, that did make me laugh.
Yeah,
it was funny. Which I was like, okay, so this is like gonna be a goofy book,
right?
And like it was,
right.
To be fair, like you kind of know what you're getting into pretty soon.
Yeah, it just surpassed goofy for me, which I love a goofy book, but this one was so goofy that it verged into just feeling a little dumb at times, and it's just
yeah. Is there anything you would like to discuss with that before we talk about the weird dark turn this book takes?
No, but the other thing that I would like to say is that Cooper, while better than JoJo, also annoyed me, but also Cooper deserves way better than this girl.
I thought the same thing. I was like, Cooper, man,
stand up.
Hotter women, and yeah, girl, stand up.
It sounds like he was hitting it off with the other bridesmaid. He should have like
bridesmaid 2.
Bridesmaid number 2, yeah.
Yeah. there were a couple parts of this book that did like genuinely make me laugh, like dialogue wise, that I thought were very funny. Like one of which when Jojo and Cooper are fighting because Jojo's jealous that this bridesmaid is hitting on him, even though she's trying to get with Finn, and Jojo like calls her something like spray tanned lady or whatever, and Cooper goes, "Her name is bridesmaid number 2," which is what they've been calling her throughout the book. So there was like dialogue in here that was actually like genuinely very funny. Anytime like Grandma Dodie was there was very funny.
Yeah.
Her learning Gen Z slang, or I guess millennial slang, or slang in general, and writing them down in her notebook was very funny. And also like realistic as like, it's kind of like kooky grandma stock character. Like you can't help but love her.
Right.
I'm thrilled when she comes on the page.
Right.
I'm never mad about it.
Right.
Give me all the kooky grandmas. They're very funny. So
agreed. Yeah. My thing was just like, yeah, there were parts of this book that were very funny. A good amount of it was very funny. It just felt so heavy-handed most of the time that it made it hard for me to actually find it funny and like enjoy it as being funny.
Yeah, I think you have to kind of go into this book with like sitcom vibes.
Yeah.
Like this is the dumbest episode of Friends.
Yes, it's very
that
slapstick.
You can think of.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is kind of what you gotta take from it. And that's totally cool. Like, I'm glad it was a 300 pager.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to spend too much more time on it. Am I gonna pick it up again? I mean, no.
Yeah.
But like, whatever.
Yeah, like I'm not saying it was like a waste of time or I had to like slog through it or I hated it or anything, but I like did not actively enjoy it the entire time I was reading it.
This is like the definition of a pool book.
Yes.
You want something that's like fun and light and is not gonna take much of your brain and is summer vibes, very chill. No real consequence or anything like that. Nothing that's gonna like make your brain work much. And that's fine. Those books have their purpose. That's why they get published. And Katherine Center is not like a bad writer or anything like that.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And again, like I really liked the rom-commers. I have heard wonderful things about her other books. I was like Googling around to see what other people thought of this book to be like, was the rom-commers a fluke or was this one a fluke? Like for me personally. And it seems like a lot of people are like, not my favorite Katherine Center for like a lot of the reasons we've been discussing. So
sure, totally.
So we're in good company of saying this is perhaps not Katherine Center's strongest work, but not in a way that turns us off from her entirely, I think.
No, yeah. No. I've heard like great things about The Bodyguard also, of like more so from women like a little bit older than us.
Yeah.
Who really like Katherine Center seems to like kind of exist nicely in that, like, I don't want to call them like mom rom-coms, but like, women a little bit older than we are who also like enjoy these books, but like maybe don't need all the like sex and stuff of a Tessa Bailey.
Right.
Like this book is very much rated like PG.
Yeah.
There's no sex in it.
Yeah. I would say this
like,
book would
illusions.
have been in like good company of like, the and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, it's going to sound derogatory, but like the book section at Walmart when the selections are very like mass market, like appeal to a wide audience, like, it feels like that to me.
Yes. No, I don't disagree at all. This is it's a vacation book.
Until it's not, because
until it's not. All right, Katie, tell us what happens in this weird turn of events.
So basically there are these kind of like ongoing characters on this other cruise ship that like seemed to be just like drunken harmless bros on a bro trip that we come across a couple of times in the book. And at one point during one of their like I don't know, when they get off the boat, when they're at excursion, yeah. They come across these people again, and one of them begins harassing Jojo in not the like goofy wolf whistly way that they were at the beginning of the book in an actual like this man is a predator way. And then it turns out he is an actual predator and he tries to sexually assault her. And she makes a run for it. And he like locks her in a lighthouse. And like she calls Cooper to come to her rescue. But then it ends up being her dad that rescues her because he tracked her phone. Thank God. And she's like, why didn't Cooper come? Turns out Cooper did come, and the guy fucking busted his beer bottle and stabbed Cooper. And
it sounds like we're making this
that's the TLDR of what happened at the end of this book. And I was like, what the fuck? Because up until this, everything had been so goofy that I was like, oh, I'm just vibing here with my goofy little book that I read before bed. Like, again, not having a bad time, not having a particularly great time, but vibing on the cruise ship. And then this happens, and I was like, this is fucking dark. Like, there was nothing that implied anything like this was coming by any stretch of the imagination. It was like, I am rarely surprised by things that happen in these books anymore because they're all so formulaic, but like, kudos to Katherine Center for surprising the shit out of me, because what the fuck?
Yeah, it is, yeah, it was a big surprise that was the turn we took, and he didn't, like, I don't know, trip off a cliff or something and not, like, actually try to hurt her.
Right, because like every other person that we're sort of led to believe is a bad person, like JoJo's dad, like Finn, like bridesmaid number 2, there's like a resolution where we find out like, oh, they're not just bad, they're not bad, like Finn's just a bro, or like, you know, JoJo's dad is like maybe kind of a bad guy, but like not to the degree that we thought he was, he's just an idiot, or like bridesmaid number 2, like after JoJo actually had a conversation with her, turns out she seems like a nice person. Like all of these things get wrapped up with a tiny bow,
Right.
which is like so often what happens in these books. Like there are rarely any like real actual villains unless it's in like a funny way. But this guy is a real actual villain, a real actual predator, and a real actual criminal, which is so rare to happen in these sorts of books that I'm like, huh? Like I still keep being like, did I read that right?
No, yeah, that he stalks her into town, tries to put his hand up her skirt after like bugging her, and then she has to run and take shelter in a lighthouse where he locks her into it.
Yeah.
And
he's like banging on the door trying to get in there. Like it's clear he has like at first it sort of gets played off as like, oh, this drunk guy is just being like an asshole. And then yeah, he's a bad person.
Yeah, let me actually speed run the resolution of this, and then we'll talk about the conclusion of the actual romance.
Yeah.
So this guy is harassing another woman in line. JoJo steps in, steals his cab. This man follows her into town, again, attempts to sexually assault her, does sexually assault her to a degree.
Yeah.
And chases her into a lighthouse where she becomes trapped. She calls Cooper. Cooper says he will be right there. 2 hours later, Cooper has not freed her from the lighthouse and her dad shows up. Great. Cooper misses the boat.
Yeah.
And does not get back on the boat. So she's like, oh, he actually like ran away. They had like a fight before this, and she was trying to follow him into town, and then there was a crisis with the it is so like slapsticky now that I'm like saying it out loud. Anyway, she's like, I guess Cooper really was that mad at me that he wouldn't even come help me.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, at her sister's wedding, Cooper does show up. They get locked in a stairwell. They confess their love for each other. JoJo accidentally knocks him down the stairs to where he starts gushing blood, to where I was like, girl, what? And then he goes, I popped my stitches. And you're like, huh? Then they go to the infirmary. Turns out, yes, he had been stabbed with a beer bottle. The guy pushed him down where he hit a rock, was knocked unconscious. That's how the cops found him, took him to the doctors in the Bahamas, and then he was there for 2 days until he was able to meet the boat in like Cozumel or something. That's how that storyline goes. which is crazy.
And then the actual very funny part of this though was the doctor telling JoJo all of this, like, listen to what the fuck happened to this guy. Are you gonna tell her or should I? That was legitimately very funny.
That was very funny. Cooper was like, "Make me look really good, doc."
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah,
yeah.
this
So
was this was insane. Which, like, okay, now I'm saying like that we didn't see this coming. There were other like smaller dark parts of the book. Like we find out that like Cooper had been like essentially kidnapped by his own father at one point and like
yes,
locked in a closet. But like that's not to downplay this, but that's sort of like the typical sort of like traumatic backstory we get in some of these books. So I didn't really read into it too much. Um but yeah,
that note, actually, of Cooper's traumatic backstory, these two kids have been like best friends for like
decades.
15
Yeah.
years. And you're telling me that he never told you this?
Yeah, I'm really
There,
skeptical of so I can't help but compare this book a lot to the Carly Fortune book we just read because there are some pretty obvious parallels. The like, you know, wedding
for sure.
interrupted, best friend comes to rescue, kind of long time
We
friend.
promise we didn't do this on
No,
purpose.
we really
But
didn't.
yes, that is.
But like those two actually seemed like they were really good friends. These two don't seem like they were that good of friends.
Right. They were like, I believe that they were, but it was definitely not tattoo each other's names on our rib cages
Correct.
kind of best friends.
Yeah.
Uh, and certainly not secretly in love with you
Right.
for 15 years kind of best friends, which
Right.
of course is how, the love story resolves, is that Cooper's been in love with her forever.
Yeah.
Because who could have called that? But that's why childhood friends to lovers exists. Like,
Yeah.
obviously that's how it's gonna end. So yeah, it there are parts of the book that are very like, we got the like goofy parts of a friendship cover where she's like very clearly not embarrassed to do anything around Cooper, like, and like, that part I guess is kind of nice, where she's like gets like a horrible sunburn at one point and Cooper has to like take care of her.
Yeah. And that's like a legitimately sweet moment, but also still a
But
little like slapstick. Like that's a shenanigan that
yeah.
I appreciate. Like a shenanigan that leads to like a sweet moment like that. Like excellent. Love that. Especially because she gets the sunburn because she was so nervous about kayaking with Finn that she just forgot to put sunscreen on.
Yes. So yeah. Obviously the book does end with JoJo and Cooper being together. Her parents, who are going to get divorced, are not going to get divorced anymore. The stuff with her dad, we can talk about that for a second too, because it was
Yeah.
kind of bananas, to where there was also a thing where they thought that their dad had fully like left JoJo at school.
Yeah, like forgot to pick her up.
Yes, and then she got pneumonia because she walked home. And everyone just accepted that dad forgot to pick you up. And he never said, "No, I was there, I just messed up."
Yeah, I was on the
And
wrong
everyone has
side of the
been,
school or what, like I was in the wrong pickup
yeah.
area.
And they've just like been holding on to this grudge about her dad for actually 15, 16 years.
Yeah,
And he's never
including
refuted it.
including like the mom like hating the dad for this. And I'm like, do none of y'all talk to each other? Like, does no one say anything?
Yeah, those were the things where I was like, this is just not how people behave.
Right. Because he was like
So,
at one point when the dad is telling her all this, he's like, there wasn't like I think at one point JoJo is like, why didn't you tell mom that this is what happened or whatever? And he was like, well, after that you got so sick and you were like sick for a couple weeks that it just like didn't like I kind of forgot. Like I was so focused on you being sick, basically. And I was like, okay, but if I'm the mom in that scenario and my kid is in the hospital sick, that is the first thing I'm doing is fighting with my husband about it. Cause I would be like, she got sick because you left her at school. Like, did they not get
you
in a
didn't,
fight about this? Like, I
yeah, and
refuse to believe they didn't get in a fight about this.
like, surely. And that's when he should have been like, yeah, I fucked up, but not in the like, I legitimately abandoned my kid sort of
Right.
way. more
He was
so
like,
in
I
the
was there and I
I was
forgot.
early.
Yeah, or I forgot it was supposed to be this spot, or I didn't know it was supposed to be this spot, or whatever it was, or I wasn't listening when you told me. Like,
Dumb
still,
man things, but
still a
not
stupid
evil.
thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not abandon your child
Yeah,
situation.
yeah. The fact that
Um,
this has never come up is like so far beyond my like level of
like
understanding or
disbelief.
belief. Yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah, that is the resolution of this book is that JoJo and lives happily ever after with her family and it's all chill. But then there's also a note that they never catch the guy who like stabbed Cooper. So,
at least
like,
give us some resolution there.
and it was like kind of presented as this like life lesson where it was like, yeah, there's bad people in the world. Sometimes that's how it works out. And it's like, yeah, I know, man. Like,
But
I
that's
know
not what
there
I come to these books for.
no, like this like why I watch SVU or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
no, I watch so the rapist gets caught and
yeah,
I get to feel like there's some sense of justice in the world.
exactly.
Not not reality,
Not bad
which
man lives on to assault some other woman. Like,
which is
don't
what would
remind me of that.
happen. Yeah, Katherine, please. So, uh, but she and Cooper live happily ever after,
They
and they're
do.
like secretly engaged.
Yeah, they get secretly engaged, which
sorts.
I was also like, guys, we need to slow down. Neither of you are kind of in an emotional spot to be doing this right now.
Right, Cooper's been in London for 4 years, and
Yeah,
their only like real time together has been on this cruise ship. So like, maybe hold on.
slow
But
down.
but
Um,
no, they're not gonna do that.
yeah.
So
But yeah,
um,
I didn't dislike it. Again, I didn't even like actively dislike it as I was reading it. There were just several moments that I was like, "Huh?"
yeah, it's a head scratcher
Yeah.
book in terms of that of like, huh, those are choices.
Yeah, it was just all a little disjointed for me. Like there were a lot of individual things that I liked, but as a whole book, meh.
Yeah. So, if you're listening to this episode and you haven't picked it up, I don't necessarily think you need to, but you can if you want. It's a fun pool read. They're on a cruise. There's
Yeah,
some
I think I would have
fun
liked
moments.
reading this more if I had read it on vacation.
Yeah, I can see that. I
You
was
know?
reading it partially next to my cowboy pool yesterday, and then I had to go inside because there was a yellow jacket buzzing around me that wouldn't go away, and I would have enjoyed it way more in that setting than
Yeah.
like reading it like on my couch. Like
Yeah, I was
it would
like
have been
reading this was my before bed book, which was not my preferred method.
like when you have books too that you're like, oh, I wish I had read this in print,
Yeah.
or like this is a solidly like Kindle book for
Yes.
me.
Yes. It was
You
a
know what I
Kindle
mean?
book
And
for
not
me. I read it on Kindle.
and like that's not derogatory at any by any point. But it's like I would have read it really quickly on my Kindle. Like I read the Wedding People on my Kindle. That was
Mm-hmm.
a fine experience. I do have it in print, uh, but yeah, it was like I could have done this like in a a two sitting
Yeah.
by the pool,
Agreed.
sort of thing.
Or
So
like
yeah,
on my flight tomorrow. Like this would have been
yeah,
perfectly fine for on my flight when there are also like 500 other things going on, so the book I'm reading is not going to get my full attention naturally.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
meh,
that's yeah,
meh,
it was fine.
meh.
It was fine. It didn't take me that long to read, so I can't be like mad about it. Um, that's what I will end with this book. I must ask you, are you on the hot girls read drama side of TikTok?
I'm not on TikTok, but on Threads I have been.
On Threads? Amazing. Oh,
Crazy.
so yeah, I am on the TikTok side of it where because I think I almost bought you something from this creator for the listeners in a very niche drama, but boy, do I love a niche drama. There is a woman who is like in the, BookTok, Bookstagram, whatever community. And she makes bookmarks, shirts, cute little millennial-esque, you know the type. They're hot pink, whatever. and she trademarked the phrase "hot girls read," which is already a wild thing to do. And then has been basically like, if you have anything with hot girls read on it, time to take it down. Peace and love. Peace and love. Gently with love. Take it down. I have the trademark now. And so everyone has now rightfully gotten mad about it. Because hot girls read is just a phrase.
Just a phrase.
Just a phrase. To where people are like, also part of the controversy is that she's not like a lifelong reader. Like, people are like going back into her stuff and being like, oh, part of her posts of like 2023 are like, I just discovered reading.
Yeah.
And then she just like made a small business, you know, like, making book merch also like based on books. And yeah, so
well,
somebody
and that's not
has
to say
yeah.
that you can't get into reading late in life and then
No,
start
no.
a business and do the whole thing. It's just like uh it's someone on Threads was like, this is colonizer behavior, and I was like, literally.
It really
Literally.
is though. Like, yes, absolutely, to Katie's point. You can get into reading at any point in your life. I would
And I
never
will
ever
loudly
like,
support you.
yes, loudly. Absolutely. Read whatever you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
Great. We're happy you're here. However, and yes, you know what? Whatever. Start a cute business about it. Coming after um fellow, like, your peers, as a lot of people have like described themselves as being like, I own a small business too. I do like a similar thing, like we're peers in
Yeah.
this industry or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Coming after your peers, who are also just like making fun merch to like celebrate reading is, yes, colonizer, like money bags, Mr. Rockefeller
Yeah.
behavior.
It's so
Like,
wild.
so I've really been enjoying my deep dive into this side of TikTok. And now that I'm thinking about this, when this episode comes out, it's probably all gonna be past. But like,
That's true. Please know that it's June 7th as we're recording this. So just
as
remember
we're recording this,
just remember where you were on June 7th. How about that?
yeah. And if it has not resolved, a woman did crowdfund, or a creator crowdfunded to fight the trademark. Like, crowdfunded like $2,000 to like fight the trademark, and so
Pretty
it's
good.
pending, like, to go to a hearing or something. So if you want to find some niche drama, just look up Alley Rose Co. or Hot Girls Read in your Threads or your TikTok account, and enjoy some book drama that has nothing to do with an actual book, and actually has really interesting stuff about trademark law, which is also in the news right now because of Patagonia and Patagonia, which that is a really interesting case of when trademark law is doing what it's supposed to do.
Yes.
So
watching the people turn on Patagonia has been interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. I didn't know trademark law was going to take up so much of my brain space this summer already, but boy, I'm learning a lot. And trademark law is very interesting. Lots of fun stuff here going on the internet. So,
yeah. I've dabbled with intellectual property stuff before in one of my previous jobs, but the trademark stuff is new to me, and it is quite interesting.
Quite interesting.
Also,
anyway,
if the people are watching Love Island, DM me. I hope I'm still watching it in Italy. The girls and I are really gonna have to stay on top of our shit. We were like, this is great because when we have our like 2 hours of nonverbal phone time every day while we're in Italy, we have something to entertain ourselves with.
I've got Love Island on for the dogs downstairs, and just in case they decided they needed something to watch while it's like, you know, putting on Cocomelon for your children.
Yeah.
I got, you know, the dogs like sound and pretty colors, and there's no substance in any of that. So it's basically Cocomelon for adults.
Yeah.
Also,
that's so
uncomfortable
true.
kissing noises.
We have our first dumping tonight.
I know. Womp womp.
We'll see how my bracket performs. I'm in a Love Island bracket. I got an alert. Again, please remember it's June 7th right now as we're recording. But yeah, I got an alert from the bracketology app being like, it starts
Excellent.
tonight. And I'm like, all right, let's see how
Starts
many points
tonight.
I get.
Here we go. I'm gonna go watch a World War II movie at 5:30, and then I can come home and watch Love Island. So
Nice. Phil's gonna come
the
over
duality.
because I'm not gonna see him for 2 weeks, obviously. So he's gonna come over and we're gonna order dinner. What he doesn't know is that we're gonna watch Love Island.
Welcome. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to be invested now. So, is what it
Hey,
is.
hey,
So
after Friday night's episode, now that there's actual drama, I'm sad.
it really is like the first one is like getting teeth pulled, where it's like I gotta listen to this guy, talk about his life story that I don't care about.
Yeah.
No, I need someone to crash out. Somebody
And
needs to crash
baby,
out,
we
and then I
got
start
it.
caring.
For those of you who
We
are
did get
two
it.
weeks in the future, we're talking about Melanie's epic crash
I
out
need 10.
when I need 10. Give me 10. Yeah,
Give me 10.
when Bea tried to be like, "Hey, maybe you should be nicer to the other girls in the house." And Melanie's like, "What the fuck? How dare
I know.
you ask me to be nicer?"
No.
Fully crashes.
I'm
It was insane behavior. So, interested to see how this conversation we're having right now ages when this comes out 2 weeks from now.
I know. Maybe we'll end up being on Melanie's side.
Who
Future
knows?
us. Who knows?
Who knows?
On that note, what are you going to read first on your Italy excursion?
I have been what I'm looking at on my other screen right now is my spreadsheet of all my book. I keep this will surprise no one to know that I keep an insane spreadsheet to not only catalog books that I own physical copies of, but also that I keep track of my like NetGalley, but like ones I still have to review and things like that. So I'm looking at it right now. I think I definitely want some thrillers. I'm going some thrillers because that feels right for a vacation. Don't know which thrillers yet, but I'm gonna do some thrillers. I'm gonna do the new Tia Williams, which we're gonna do for our next episode. I've been reading a lot of like cowboy romances, and there's a new Elsie Silver one that might be kind of fun. What else? I think I might finally pick up Margot's Got Money Troubles. I still haven't read that, so I might do that one.
Now the TV series now, so
Yeah. So I might do that one. And I'm definitely gonna read the new Ashley Poston. Finally, I've been saving that one for vacation.
Well, great segue because for those who are, following along with us, that will be the episode after this one.
Yes.
Is The Someday Garden by Ashley Poston. And actually, for once, Katey and I are really prepped ahead of time.
We've got like the rest of the summer planned out. We've got the Someday Garden. We've got the new Tia Williams that we're gonna do after that. And then we have our BFF
Wild
Sarah
Goose
Adler.
Chase.
Yeah.
So for those who want to mark your calendars, July 3rd, we got Someday Garden. 17th, we got Misconnection. Then we got Wild Goose Chase. We have not planned into August yet, but plan it through July.
But
We're
July's going to be pretty great.
July's going to be pretty great. Well, I haven't started anything yet, so I will update the Instagram in Katey's absence of what I am reading when I am not on the coast of Italy or wherever you're going to be. Well, I'm here in sunny Austin, Texas with 3 dogs. I mean, I won't always have the 3 dogs.
Yeah.
Hopefully getting more sun. So,
I'm gonna post from Italy too. Y'all know I'm gonna come across some sort of a great bookstore. I'll be reading somewhere very visually appetizing, we'll see. There will be book content from Italy for sure.
Fret not. So,
and if you have recommendations for what I should read in Italy, I'm open to those too, because I will need some Kindle recommendations. I'm not going to bring any print books because I know I'll buy at least one while I'm over there. And then
right.
And then some audiobooks if anyone has good audiobooks they've read recently.
Give me some to read on the home front.
Yep.
I'll take them too. They don't have to be Italy related.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Well, I hope I'm having a great time.
I hope I am too, wherever I am at this moment. I actually might be in Houston when this comes out. Who knows? Who
Who's
knows?
to
If
say?
so, yeah. I may be going on the Netherlands Orange Walk in Houston
Ooh,
for some content, which they marched to like the stadium over like 3 miles. So
that's
could be
cool.
fun.
That's
So
cool.